actually started investing in property at a time which was very, very similar to how I see it now. In fact, I don't really see much difference in sentiment in terms of market mood now and what was back then. In many ways, what I'm going to present to you tonight, I mean, back in 1990, I just graduated from university. I was in my very early 20s, knew nothing about nothing, thought property was a good idea, did it as a sideline to my corporate career as a management consultant. Knew no one else in property, so I had no idea whether what I was doing was right, whether it was wrong. I had no one to measure myself against or anything like that. So I made a lot of mistakes, got a lot of things right, and over time realised what was right and what was wrong and focused on what was right. And you know how, and the reason I'm so excited about today, you know, like if you've been through something and you have this wonderful thing called hindsight, and you think, well, if I could go back that time, I would do X, Y, Z, and I'd do this differently and that differently, and I'd do it like this. And what I see now is exactly the same characteristics as what was there in the 1990s. And what I see now is an exciting opportunity. Now that I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, a few more contacts than I had before, had the benefit of all that hindsight as well, to kind of play this opportunity out in a way which I wished I could have done back in 1990, but here's the chance all over again. And really, what I'm going to present to you guys is the stuff that I'm doing. Is the way I see the market over the next few years. The way I see the unique opportunity of today in the next few years. And what I'm doing to capitalise on it. What I'm advising people on my mentorship program and through my other avenues on how to capitalise on this unique opportunity. So I started investing in 1990. I went full-time in 2001. So I've been doing it since then full-time. I'm the author of this book, the Build Your Property Empire Home Study Course, and I've been a regular speaker on property investment topics. One of the other things I do is I run a mentorship program. It's the largest property investor mentorship community in the UK. We have 500 people, over 500 people on the program, and we do quarterly surveys. And each quarter, it's not just a forum that people just talk about stuff. People actually do real deals. And it's changed many, many people's lives. But let me just talk a little bit about the freebie. And I'm going to, because there's a lot that I wanted to cover. So I've included a few bonuses, like some reports, a video, and a book on financing. And you can get this for free by filling in this registration form. I'll put all the names in a little bit of a hat for this CD that we're doing. We're about to launch this CD, which is, it contains 5 video seminars about how to succeed in today's property market. Today's property market is completely different, the rules are completely different, and the strategies are completely different. So we've got 5 video seminars from myself, Ranjan Battacharya and Ranjan Battacharya1 on how to succeed in today's market. I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end. But when you fill in this form, we'll do that later. Okay, before I get going, how do people see the market? I mean, there must be people, what I want to concentrate on is not necessarily the people that agree with me that now is the best time, now is a fantastic opportunity for property. What I want to hear from people is what's holding them back? What's holding folks back from doing property today? Whether it's continuing with their existing portfolios or getting started. Yeah?
Getting hold of finance?
Finance, okay, finance. What I'm going to try to do is list a few of these points and make sure we include them and discuss them during the presentation, in the question and answers at the end. Anyone else? What's holding people back from making these next few years their property years? Oh, is that it? That's good.
Okay, apart from the
You
also have uncertainty. You don't know, what's going to happen 2 months' time or a year's time.
Uncertainty. Okay, that's one of the things I'm going to help out with the benefit of this hindsight thing, and I'll explain a little bit about how I see the market and hopefully help people out with a bit of seeing through that. Anything else?
Sourcing deals?
Sourcing deals. I tell you, I did this talk up in Birmingham last week, they filled up 2 pages. So come on, are you telling me that I have the same issues as the folk in Birmingham? Come on, you've got to beat the Birmingham. You need to get a page spread.
We think more positively here.
That's the other way of looking at it. They're a bunch of neckheads in Birmingham. It's really good. Go on, let's get a couple more points, then we'll move on. Yeah.
I don't think it's a major problem yet, but the lower prices go, the harder it's going to be for people to accept the NG prices because they'll have no equity recommend.
So say that last bit again.
Well, the lower prices go,
Yeah.
basically less and less people are in trouble will have any equity left in their property, so it's going to be difficult for them to accept a low offer.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, one more. Who wants to have the last point?
It seems as if rental values are starting to drop a certain amount now, so that's going to make deals a little bit more difficult to stack up again.
Okay, rental values. That's a good one. Yes. What's happening to rental values? Okay. Yep. I think people have hit upon the main issues. Let's just look at what we're going to talk about. What I'm going to do is first of all set out a little bit about how I see the market and what the market out, where we are in this. Where are we? What can we gain, if you like? What can we see in terms of the trends that have happened in the past and how that will extend across into the future? I want to talk a little bit about strategy because, quite frankly, the strategies that people used to build up sizable portfolios just 6 months ago, just 7 months ago, you can consign to strategy. Because the thing with property investing is certain strategies work during certain times in the property market cycle and they don't in others. So we're in a completely new era and it's a completely new set of strategies. And it's also a completely new mindset. And I want to touch on a little bit about how people's strategies, people's mindset to investing in property really has to transform to succeed during this period. And there are several strategies which I can talk about, and I'll just highlight in terms of how to succeed today and into the next few years. But what I want to kind of focus on and give you a little bit of info on is what I call the high cash flow concept, in terms of buying fewer properties, but making sure that each property you buy counts by producing much, much more cash flow than you would normally accept, say, a couple of years ago. How does that sound to folks?
Good.
Market outlook then, crystal ball time. Now, the market outlook, this is some data that I pulled out, and you can see that in the last quarter in Scotland, prices have gone up by a point. Can you see that from the back there? No, you can't. A lot of people who talk about housing prices and market come up with charts and figures, and the market has gone up by this and that and the other. I think too much data is really for what I call the bandwagon investor. And this is what I mean by the bandwagon investor. The bandwagon investor assumes that prices go up. You've got pound and you've got time, prices go up over time. And over a 40, 50-year period, this graph is true. And in the boom years, all they do is buy a property, any property they like, at market value, keep it for a little length of time, and sell it on.